Assalamu alaikum. Mid-20s.
Walaikum Assalam. 25.
30s. All, how is everybody doing?
Alhamdulillah. All praise and thanks be to God. I
All
still hear
right,
the music
Rehan,
going
go
on.
ahead. Take us into what we're doing today. Doing?
Alhamdulillah. All praise and thanks be to God.
All
Did you
right,
hear that
Rehan,
echo?
go ahead. Take us into what we're doing today. Doing?
Alhamdulillah. All praise and thanks be to God.
All
Did
right,
you hear that
Rehan,
echo?
go ahead. Take us into what we're doing today. Doing?
Alhamdulillah. All praise and thanks.
So I'm not sure. I think we were hearing the echo from either you, Rehan. So go ahead, close your other tabs. This might be it. Sorry about this technical issues. We're still working out some things. Noor, you're muted. Sorry, you were muted. Can we hear you now?
Yeah, I can hear you right now. Yes.
Rehan, once your echo is undone, we will unmute you too. So we're gonna jump straight in. Can we hear you guys now? Good.
I think this is better. Yeah. Okay.
Much better. Much better.
No.
All right. So peace be upon you all. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the 9th episode of the YDS. Do I do this? Yes.
I got you on the numbers.
Today, actually, we're going to continue on our topic. I was going to say we've been getting awesome feedback. My phone's been getting triple-digit spammed with DMs, personal messages, and direct messages. I had on my wife yesterday, and I think we might be starting to do a Wednesday series. Wife Wednesdays, or maybe we'll do something like that. But
Dude, I saw it. Like, when I went to the episode, like I was like this is like takeover, like that. Like, you said toast, like I like that mashallah, like that was like a really like very like awesome episode, very helpful, like a lot of insights, a lot of like I would like to like see inshallah like more of that.
So actually, to anybody watching, please go back and watch that episode, because I've been doing live shows with, teachers, with friends, but that was the one I had the most fun with, and I felt the most calm and sakina with, because not only was she right next to me, but it was just good chemistry, not just on air, but always. So today, alhamdulillah, we are talking about, the topic is continuing off the topic of juggling responsibilities and reflections from your first job until now. So I'm going to have Rehan speak a little bit, introduce who our guest of honor today is, our very own, our little brother, and our, Prince of Arabia, as he likes to call himself. And that's his tag on Instagram and things. Feel free to find him. And I was going to put Prince of Persia, but I don't know if he's from Persia. He's from Syria. But,
Well, I got a bloodline from there, so that works.
we're going to talk about bloodlines today and muggles and okay, Rehan, take it away, inshallah.
Well, assalamu alaikum. This is my friend Nour, and he likes to go by the name Prince of Arabia. But mashallah, he's our artist and calligrapher, and he's a very good friend of mine. And like I would say the best person that can speak. I would say that you can speak for yourself. You look like. So I'm gonna pass it to Nour.
All right. No, not too much dead time, but let's try to make good use of our time. Have at it, Noor. The floor is yours.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Subah bikhair. Dobra utra. And all other languages that I did not remember yet. My name is Noor. I'm in my mid-20s. Today I'm the guest over here. Today I will be talking a little bit about my life, my experience, a little bit. if you guys can find it useful. So that was Yasser was saying last time about how his life responsibilities, how every person has his own responsibilities, own experience with life and everything. You know. And subhanAllah, I wanted to share my life with you guys if that will help too. So I was thinking one time, sitting by myself, thinking, subhanallah, yeah, I have a three, actually right now, I'm in my mid 20s almost, like 22, 23, and I have three positions in my life. I'm living three places. So I am a student, you know, studying and have to pursue the degree and all this stuff and have to get good grades. And that's hard. That's almost full time. So I have my other position. I am like a father. I have to, feed my family, work for them all the full time, you know, die for them in the street and stuff of my family. And the third position is I am myself, Nour, which is too, I have my own life. I have to pursue. Versus build my life, build, have to marry a little bit later and stuff like that.
Real quick, Noor, I was just going to say a father. Noor, are you a father biologically though?
No, no,
Old
as a
enough to
biologist.
be.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. That's a good point. Yes. So,
Oh, okay. You just
yes,
feel the responsibilities as a head of a household.
yes,
Can you
yes,
explain that?
yes. So, like that. So, I am responsible for four sisters, all of them, and my mother. So, half of them is back in country, and half of them are here. So,
Okay, how do you divide four into half? I'm just curious. You can't say half. Work on your math skills,
actually,
bro.
yeah, yeah. Actually, there are five. Yeah, all of them are five. Three over there, four over there, and two over here.
Sorry,
You
bro.
see, as I walk in my kind of student place, a little bit.
Math skills are important too.
Yeah.
Mathematically, you got to divide your time equally when it comes to spouses, when it comes to siblings, when it comes to that. Yeah. So I'm just curious, Noor. Can you say those things again? You first feel like your time is divided up. You mentioned three things. You feel like you're in three places, or are you juggling three hats? Like
Three
juggling
roles. Yes, three hats,
three roles.
three roles. Yes.
Can you mention those again? I sorry, I zoned out for
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah. So I am a student. I have to study. I have to go to college full time and stuff like that. That's an important role that takes all time, full time of your life. Second role is I am like a father. I have to take care of family and stuff. My
Head of the
sister is
household, I would say.
head of
Might.
the household. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my father passed away, and I'm the only one. So mostly
No.
I'm like a father. Yeah. The third position, the third role is I am myself, Noor, which is I
Mhm.
have to build my life, build the structure of my life, the basis, then have a good job, find a good wife and stuff like that.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Would you say then artist falls under Noor? All the other stuff that you like doing, like your music, your art, all that all falls into the last category?
Yes.
Hey Salam, my wife's saying salam to you guys.
Walaikum salam.
Go check out our episode, guys.
Beautiful episode.
Oh, subhanAllah. But yeah, so we're all here because of the support of those who are helping us. So, whether it's Rayhan's folks, whether Noor is your little sister, behind every strong man, there's a stronger woman. We can say that. Oh, alhamdulillah. Okay, go ahead, Noor. Sorry, we keep interrupting you.
No, no, no worries. Not much to tell about how was my life. I mean, life is a little bit hard, but that's good. That's what makes you good. Imagine, like, how do I say it? Like a diamond. You know how the diamond, the most expensive thing in the world, how is it made? Do you
It's
guys know?
The pressure,
Pressure. Pressure.
everywhere around them puts that pressure on them.
Yeah. The more pressure. For me, I think be like a gold. The
like
gold,
gold.
the more heat, yeah, the more heat you put onto it, the more work, the
Exactly.
more it shines,
SubhanAllah.
the more it shines. Yeah.
That's how you get refined. Like it's
Yeah.
like the same way. Like
Work is good. Yeah. And as
I don't
long as
want
there's, God up there, that's good for us. You don't have to worry about nothing. Just get to work. That's it. At least one thing I'm happy about is that all my stuff I have, at least I can, the day of judgment, I can say, Allah, I have something I have worked on. I have sweat for this things, worked hard, and Allah may forgive me for this,
I mean,
please, you know.
all of
But
us.
I have worked. I have
And
something at least to say. I don't want to live. I don't want to be offensive, but like almost I don't want to feel like an animal almost. Like you just wake up, you find you work for the food for the day and sleep. Work for the food for the day and sleep. And that's how the day repeated. For us as humans, they're different. So we have to do other things. We have to be different from those, which is we have to work for our families, we have to study, we have to build our life, we have to be successful in any kind of meaning. Yeah, from talking about job, does not have to be a doctor or a nurse or a company holder or anything. Anything would be good. As prophets say, even if you just have your axe and you went and just cut the trees and take this wood, that's better for you for all the world. At least you have something to do, work.
Correct.
That would make us different.
SubhanAllah. I actually want to say literally that's what our episode 1 was about titles, doctor, imam, hafiz, chaplain, defining those. But that's the whole point. Do they bring value or merit? No. These things do not define you. Me, my role does not describe me. Student, artist, Muslim, that these are words that describe you, but they're not you. They're not your title, right? Your doctor is not your title. The things that you put in front of your name, your profession is not your title too. And I think Noor hit it upon the head that at the day of judgment, God's not going to ask you what profession you were, or
Yeah.
even your definition. Like, don't let your work consume you so much that defines you. Yes,
Correct.
you might be putting 60 plus, 80 plus hours as a physician, as a doctor. You might be putting 40 hours at your job at minimum if you're working full time. You might be juggling multiple jobs, but that doesn't define you. I personally feel I'm defined by the things I choose to. My day job is literally just for me to exist, to serve my other roles as a father, as a husband, as a friend. And this is above and beyond. This is my real definition, is what I choose to do extracurricular. That's what I do. Like, there was companions of Prophet Muhammad who literally would work night shifts and day shifts, and then so they could take turns so they can learn, because your job doesn't define you. Like, I'm gonna just mention this point. I'll hand it back to Rehan and then Noor. See, I give the example of we're like apex predators. We're at the top of the food chain. But a lion or a tiger does not hunt because he likes to hunt. He hunts because he merely has to survive, feed his cubs, live. I don't live to eat. I eat to live. I don't work to live. I work so I can live. My purpose of my life is not for me to clock in my 9 to 5. My purpose of my life is not to I can go to school so that I eventually can get that career. That's what I want to jump to, inshallah. All right, Rehan, I wanted to get your 2 cents, and let's give it back to Noor, inshallah.
My 2 cents is I mean, that was on point. That's okay. 1 cent goes to that. I want to say about Noor, about what he was saying. I didn't mean to interrupt you when you were talking. My bad earlier, but when you're talking about gold being refined, like, and it ties in with everything that we're talking about, with like how this gold doesn't define you. Like, your soul, like the whole purpose of life, like what gives you life is what feeds your soul. Okay. And to purify that soul and chase that soul, like dream, like what it really truly wants, what you truly want, every single person. It takes that refinement, that hard work, that heat, the temperature, the pressure of gold. But it's like a good struggle. It's a good struggle. It's the best struggle. And it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. Like, there's nothing negative in life. Like, if it brings you closer to God, then it's good. Like, strange is the case of the believer. Strange is the case of the believer. And the other thing, Yasser, Aslam, you said it. It was on my mind, on the tip of my tongue. If I lost it, I lost it. It will come back if I had it. But it had to do with like job responsibilities.
When you get go ahead and come back. Yeah, we'll come back. Yes, inshallah.
I don't want to get too carried away.
Correct. No, I was gonna be like, can you define some of the origins, Prince of Arabia, and actually, for example, like I'm sure everybody who sees you, your dress and things, get into juggling responsibilities, but also like a little bit about your identity. This is might sort of pseudo be the origin story of Nour Al-Majzoub. Every
Yeah.
superhero has one.
Yeah.
But again, we're
Yeah.
not super. We're not exemplary role models. We're just striving peace attempters, novice noobs, and attempters. Go ahead, Noor.
Mhm. Yeah. So if you want to talk about origin and stuff, well, after all, I feel the only reason that made me I have to follow up with my where my ancestors lived and all this stuff is they survived for you to be here. You know, they fought. They did a lot just for you to be here after hundreds and hundreds of years. And so I was like, I wanted to know my ancestors. And if one day I'll be at the heavens, my first, dream will be, please let me meet my ancestors. I want to see them and everything. So one time I was looking back into the tree and the stuff to look at the names. Well, I was surprised. Subhanallah, how Islam is much diversity it is over here. So I found that I have seven bloodlines. Imagine, all seven in me. I got Arabic, I got Persian, I got Turkish, I got Moroccan, I got what are the other things? I think a little bit. I don't know which kind of place in Africa exactly, but I forgot. And I got a little bit Yemenis, you can say. All of that. And you may ask, how does this happen? So we're going to follow all the timeline of where did they go, where did they travel, where did they marry, and all this stuff. So my family was originally in the Hijaz by Mecca, where they born over there. Because I was, after all, I'm a descendant of Prophet, be peace upon him. So after that, they moved. After the Islam started spreading itself, they moved to what do you call it, Sudan, which is a little bit west. Moved over there, they made a city, or like a little bit a village, you can say, lived over there. Then they moved, all people started moved to Morocco over there. My family was one of them. They moved over there, lived over there, and everything. Then, suddenly all the Moroccans, Arab, they started moving to Spain. My family was one of them too. They lived over there, and also they even fought. After that, after the Spanish Inquisition and all the problems happened and started, suddenly, they have to leave and take refuge in some other country. So what happened that time? The Ottoman Empire was there. So the Ottoman Empire started showing up and started, helping out those people and taking them as refugees. My family was one of those family that got on a ship and still straight to Syria. And from Syria, we lived over there till today.
A quick question, Noor. I was just going to ask. First of all, just both of you guys know if you guys want to continue, I might have to continue on with my phone. Um, I have to be somewhere in 7 minutes, so I'm going to be heading
No
out.
worries. I
Okay.
may have to stop a little bit too. I got to
Yes,
take my
no.
other call with other
Oh,
hands.
fine. Well, inshallah, end early. But quick question. I know a lot of Desis claim to be descendants of the Prophet. They say they're Sayyid. Can you explain? You sometime can you show us that family tree that you have?
Yeah, so the thing is, I've looked into that. So sometimes, like Al-Bukhari and Muslim and all these Muslim scholars, so when they travel and stuff, sometimes they learn, or their teacher sometimes can be one of the, like descendant of the Prophet or their family. So what happened is they have nothing to do with him, but because they left their family, and they are in a different land and they lived all their life with the teachers, so sometimes they can say, I belong to this guy. And by the time they say, I belong to the Prophet. That's how it is. So the teacher, yes, is a descendant and could be one of the families too, the grandchildren and stuff. He could be teaching. But his students, because they spent a lot of time and a lot of years, they can even like live with him, live with the teacher, eat with him and everything all day, all long. So then they belong to him. That's why they start to call themselves, I belong to this guy, I'm a descendant. By time, it'll be like that. That's how it is.
One last thing I want to ask Noor about the title. What was your first job? I think you came here at the age of 17 or 18. I think, right?
17, yeah. My first
17.
job, I was pulled into it. I never knew about it. I was dragged into it. It was a car dealership
No, what was your first job in Syria? I remember you had mentioned this to me one time.
in Syria, yeah.
Oh, in
So in
Syria
Syria
too?
was
Car dealership?
no, no, over here in dealership. Oh, in Syria is different. In Syria, my first job was what do you call a hotel receptionist.
Hmm. Now, would you share some reflections about your job when you were in your teenage years until now? I know you're just in your early 20s, but yeah.
Well, the only thing changed in my job, my vision is, how do I say, the goal for my job. Before I had to work just because I had to work or live, or just because I have to make money a little bit. I don't care much about it. Now I live because there is something. If I did not work, my life depend on it. If like one or two checks are cut or I miss them, it's different.
No, man.
Yeah. The only thing changed, work is job, work is work, almost the same thing, get tired. The only thing my goal has changed. Yeah, before I didn't have no responsibilities. I would not care. Now responsibilities. I care about it.
I was actually going to. I don't want to embarrass Nour, but I have some photos of him before he had any facial hair. Before he had that, I was gonna show that, but not without your permission. I'd rather him.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think
I'd rather you yourself share it. But I'm imagining a 16-year-old, 13-year-old Nour working at a hotel. Like, mashallah. I just want to say, all these guys, great work ethic. I know sometimes people don't see it, but man, especially those who have stuff on their shoulders.
Watch
Like,
out to everyone hustling and grinding. Everyone.
yeah, and
Nour,
specifically those of you
everyone
guys who
out there watching, listening.
a lot of the people here, I think a lot of people don't realize that, hey, they think it's all good in the West or in America. No, people here have very incredible hard work ethics.
yeah.
They don't. Noor, what was your perception of the West while you lived in the East? Because
Oh
you
well,
lived, yeah.
yeah, a lot of things, man. That's a different idea. Don't guys, whoever just came here or who's watching back in country, don't listen to movies. Movies are not everything. There's
It
Hollywood
wasn't
is
what you
so
expected, right?
right.
It's not
Yeah,
like what you see in the
No,
movies.
Hollywood is not everything. So
Hollywood is it's not like
and
Hollywood.
we cut our own grass. We don't have people to help. We do so much stuff ourselves through our own, like so much stuff that we do. There's manual labor that we do ourselves. We have to build things. Like it's just the amount of individual, like it's interesting. It's a conversation we can have an entire episode on. Hey guys, I'm gonna head out. Arthur actually just mentioned that he probably wants to jump on. If you guys want to wrap up the discussion, but I have to get going.
No,
You
yeah,
guys,
I'll have to leave too. That's why. So let's wrap it right now.
okay, let's wrap it right now then, inshallah.
Yeah.
We want to end off with the dua as well too. Rehan, if you would like to do so. But Noor, any closing thoughts? Anything that you would like to package or add, or if people want to ask you, or anything like
So
that?
one thing I always think about it. So if people are worried, about the risk or their how do you say risk in English? Risk
Sustenance, or
sustenance,
it's
something like
an
that.
Arabic word that does not
Yeah,
translate well.
yeah. So
yeah,
the
the
thing
English
is,
can't
one
do it
time I
justice.
was thinking, the leaf of bread that you have,
Loaf of
this,
bread, yeah.
yes, would not have reached your hand until all the people of the sky and all the people of the earth has worked on it. How? You know, First of all, what do you call it? The angel Mikael, the angel that is responsible for the clouds and the stuff, he would move the clouds and put them to their own place, own earth, own space. Then he'll make the rain come down, all be for sure by Allah's order. After the rain comes down, the plants will start growing up. Then people would come with their animals and they start working on to get them. And then all of these plants will go then to the baker. The baker would work on them, then the baker would take them, and then the people who sell them and things, and all this long story till they reach your hand. So it would not reach your hand until all the people of earth and sky have worked on it.
So
So imagine how Allah's mercy on it. And you're sitting in your home. So I feel don't worry. Life is easy. Just the only thing you have to worry about is your intention. Just if you have a real and good intention, Allah will help you out whatever it is. Food, don't worry about it. Because they say risk and food and all this stuff was written for you before 50,000 years. So no worry, just you have to work, good intention, make dua, and that's it.
correct.
Dude, subhanallah. I think
Wow.
that's great. Don't run after the dunya, because the more you try to hold on to it, the more like it's like trying to
Yeah.
hold sand. It'll fall out of your hands.
It's suddenly written, imagine, written before 50,000 years. So
It's
nothing
not
will
your
come
job
back.
to worry. God
Yeah,
already took care of it. It's written. Your job is just to work hard no matter what. Do your best. God will take care of the rest. Rehan, any last words? And then we're going to be closing in a minute, inshallah.
Oh my gosh, I have so much to say. But I think it can all be summarized with the dua. Honestly, because it literally it summarizes everything. The translation of and no, the English can't do it justice. And I remember what I said about earlier, but yeah, like what you do doesn't define you. Like in terms of like work and stuff, but uh it's what gives you life, what truly gives your life, what truly gives your soul life. And that's what I was saying, like ties in earlier about how you refine, like you work hard, and that hard work that you don't want to do that like actually makes your life better. Shout out Russell Brand. um, that's how you get to the goal within you that you want to achieve and access, like achieve your goals. Like it truly that what gives you life. And assalamu alaikum Atar. Just
Okay. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Feel free to finish up
I
in the
know
next
you.
minute.
Alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, out there. Were you watching or you just join in? Like you just came on?
Yo, I'm doing both, man. I'm watching and I'm learning.
Okay. We were just about to close off. But now that you're here, I want to talk.
Sure.
I was gonna
Alright,
end with the
yes,
dua.
I
I was
think-
gonna, but
You know what, man? You should do the dua and we could call it. It's whatever you like.
okay, all right. Unless you had a final thoughts, that's
No thoughts, man. I just came to join the last few minutes and here's
all right. I'm just happy to see your face. Okay, there it goes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
let's call it a stream then.
Call it. All right. Here it
All right.
goes. This has been Piece of Peace in the Morning, episode 9, with Nour Al-Majzoub, Adar Qureshi, Yaser Aslam, and Rehan Faruqi. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. Have a great Friday. Jummah Mubarak.
Waalaikumsalam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.